Hello everyone, my name's William and I'm the team lead at the Department of Customer Love, and I'm here to talk to you about love. Although, not really. Although my dad likes to tell everyone that I'm the head of love at Looker, which isn't great. Yeah, so that's me. I'm a native of Dublin, believe it or not. I've been at Looker for just over a year, since the birth of the Dublin office. So I got to join the company at the grassroots stage of the DCL in Dublin. So what is the DCL? What is the Department of Customer Love? It's an interesting name, I'm sure you're thinking. Why aren't we called support? Why are we called the DCL? Earlier this year, Lloyd gave a talk to our company and he said this: great software is an act of empathy. The DCL strives to love our chatters because our software is built to meet their needs. DCL wants to get to the bottom of those needs and empathize with our customers. And that's why we ask at the start of every chat, how are you? And that's probably one of the most important questions that we can ask. So that's who we are. Let me try and get into what we do. So what we do is chat. We do a lot of chat. You can see that most of our volume on support is chat. We take questions through email address as well. But most of what we do is through the chat function within Looker. We clocked 110,000 minutes last month talking to over 1,700 admins and developers. And that's a lot spread across a team of just over 40. And you get through to our experts pretty instantly within a minute. And I'll get to who they are in another slide. But first I'd like to show you the grassroots of support. So back in 2012 when Looker entered the world, Lloyd was on chat. Lloyd's our founder. So you can see that chat goes right to the heart of the company and right to our founder. Our director was also on chat, Margaret. So almost everyone at Looker was on chat and answering customer questions, which is pretty cool. So going up through the years, you can see that as of 2016, we had 12 chatters. And that's when we started to serve EMEA as well in London with the start of our London office. And then this time last year, the Dublin office started with the DCL team of the size of 24. And now, as of this day, we are a team of 41. And hopefully you can't see that photo because one of the chatters doesn't have their top on. Anyway, so this is the DCL. First, actually, can I have a show of hands of people who've actually used chat? Okay, nice. Well, these are the people that you're talking to. So the team on the top right and the team on the bottom right and the team on the bottom left, those are the Santa Cruz teams. So the team in the top left is probably the one you're most familiar with. This is the EMEA team. So you've got myself, which I won't say any more about. You've got Sasha, who's an ex-pro boxer, and for some reason everyone thinks he's a lady on chat. Don't know why that is. Christos and Jonathan, they're our newest guys. Christos is a Greek, Jonathan is a German. Sarah is a Colombian girl who grew up in Venezuela. Brecht is a Belgian guy with a love of Irish whiskey, who would thought. Roman is French, he chooses all the wine at our dinners. Bernard is a mean bass player from Ireland, and he's got an incredible music trivia knowledge. You need this guy in your quiz team. Gavin is an Irish guy who spent some time in Belgium as a teacher, and Diego is our Spanish stallion. Those are the DCL. Along the bottom, I should mention as well, there is our management team. We've got Margaret, our director, and our managers, Nicole, Carter, and Zach. So let's talk about how we use Looker. This is our data. So Zendesk pulls in all our chat data, and we take in the bulk of our data from Zendesk. So that's the main focus that we have. But we also take in data from Google Forms. We do chat reviews through Google Forms, and that gets submitted into the Google Cloud. And we also take data about our accounts in Looker from Salesforce. And we also use GitHub for our bugs, issues, and feature requests to kind of complete the loop on all things that involve engineering. But how do we use this data? So I'm going to take you through the average day in the life of a chatter and how they use Looker. This is Diego. So Diego is quite recent to chat. You can see that he has quite a low number of total tickets relative to his peers. That's quite normal. That's okay. Maybe when he gets a bit further ramped, he might want to hang around the sort of middle to early part of the graph there on the middle tile, and that's kind of normal. So Diego has an awareness of how much of the load in EMEA he's taking, and possibly if he has some complex tickets, he'll move down and he'll be aware of that, and if he needs help, he can reach out for it. But he also has a view on his customer satisfaction, which is really high, and he can take encouragement from this, and this is a good thing to spur him on. But we also have a chat review score. Now, this is out of 4. 4 is kind of like you've gone the extra mile. 3 is 100% you've done your job. So Diego's doing really well. He's got a 3.3. He's doing a good job. And in this next section, this is kind of used as a to-do list for Diego. He's got an issue that he needs to follow up on. He needs to do a reproduction on it. So that's highlighted to him. But what he also has is a list of new issues. Now that's really handy for if he comes on chat and someone comes to him with a bug, he doesn't have to spend 20 to 30 minutes finding out that it is a bug. He's already aware that it's a bug. So you can see that that's data that we've pulled from GitHub, and we've highlighted that to him. He can also take encouragement from his customer satisfaction and his chat review scores, which are all very good. So what about me? How do I use Looker? So this is a dashboard that I use, and I like to monitor the team to find out if there's anywhere that I need to help. That's my big question. So if my team are all hanging around the middle of the ballpark, I'm happy. That's fine. I don't have to worry. But if someone is maybe a little bit too far to the left, I just might want to take a look at their tickets and find out if they're a bit too busy. And on the next tile, I'll show you how I do that. But the graphs on the right are what I'm really interested in. And these indicate to me when complex chats are coming in. If I see a spike in the rolling chat duration, then I know that someone's taken on a complex chat or a long conversation, and I can drill into that data and figure out which tickets those are and find out what might need help on. So this next piece gives me a view on open tickets within the team, so I can immediately find out if someone needs help. If someone has a bunch of tickets that they just need to get help on, and I can give them some time off chat, they can work on those. You can see that Diego has quite a few open tickets. Maybe I need to talk to him and figure out if he needs some help on a few complex chats or what might be up there. And the other statistics here are just things that we use for house cleaning. So time to severity. We like to get severity on our tickets really fast so that we know what sort of issues we're dealing with. One of the other things that we have that is really useful is our Slack integration. So if a customer comes on with an operational problem that they just need to be fixed fast, one of the things that we can find out is the size of their instance. This is super handy because if we find that their instance maybe is performing a little bit sluggish, then we can figure out that it's a smaller instance and it could be in line for an upsize. And we can fix that really fast. And Slack saves us so much time in this way. We have other Slack commands which are fairly similar. We can figure out a customer success team within seconds, as well as other ways similar. This is something very specific where Looker has helped us out big time. So we can take on new hires quite often, so ramp is super important to us. And we don't expect people to ramp really fast. We give them time to learn, but we had one case where someone was struggling, but we didn't know about it because they were telling us everything was okay. And what we usually expect is, now the graph is chat count. You can see that the sort of light blue is numbers of chat. And then the darkish blue is hours on chat. And then the green is average minute per chat. So what we normally expect is that someone would have a certain amount of tickets and that they would have a certain time on chat, and that those would all be sort of in line like that, from right to left. Yeah, right to left. And that their average minute per chat would be quite low. But this person was telling us everything was okay, and yet they had a small number of chats, but they had a high number of hours on chat, and their average minute per chat was also high. And it was standing out fairly clearly. And this was happening after about 6 months of them being ramped. And normally we'd expect people to sort of be in the middle of the of the graph here. So what we were able to do is we were able to see this, drill into their tickets, have a look at them all, do chat reviews on each one, and then we were able to figure out what the weak areas were and change things. And what we changed was we were able to get that person some training. We were also able to change their seating to change whose strengths they were close to, so that they could have very particular training to their weak areas. And what we found was they started to move up through this chat fairly significantly after that, or through this graph, I should say. And their confidence just went through the roof. So things really improved after that. And Looker helped us to that end. So one of the other things that we do, and I want to talk about chat quality. So all of our chats, we want to have a very high level of quality. And our customers give us some measure of that. So at the end of a chat, you might get an email saying, were you happy with the way this chat went? And you can either say yes or no and provide some comments. So this is super useful to us. We can get encouragement and keep going the way that we're going, keep doing the good things that we're doing, but we can also figure out what we need to work on, which is very, very handy. And you can see that we have a good customer satisfaction rating, which we're very happy with. And we have a high number of surveys sent. So we want to keep going in that direction, if at all possible. But there's another place where we assess chat quality, and that's with internal chat reviews. So each week, every one of our chatters does 5 chat reviews. So that covers about 8%, 8 or 9%, and I'll show you in the next slide how much that is. But these are the 3 T's that we want to focus on in our chat reviews. We want to be technically correct, we want to have really good teaching, and we want to have great tone. And we measure all of these through our chat reviews. And you can see that in this particular dashboard, we've reviewed, in the sort of the middle to right here, we've reviewed about 9% of our chats, which is pretty good. It's good self-analysis. And we want to keep that up if at all possible. We don't want that to slow down. So talking about chat quality, I want to show you a couple of chats very briefly, just to show you what sort of personality that we have on chat. So this is Sam. He's very technically strong, so this is typical him. He's talking about some technical topic. He's saying, that way you put almost always be pulling from cache. Then the customer says, I smell what you're cooking. Sam says, getting hungry. Chatter says, hungry for learning from the master. Oh yeah. This is a different one. This is, we get a whole range of things sometimes, and this doesn't make much sense. But Jeffy goes with it. He says, hello, Chatter. Chatter says more strange things. It keeps going. Jeffy keeps at it. How are you doing? Are you okay? Chatter says, sorry, it was my daughter. She typed by chance. But Jeffy's still good. He says, does she need help with her data? This is a great one. It's actually my last week at my company, so this is probably my last support ticket. Aww, confused face. Gonna miss you all, but let's make it a good one. Morgan says, wow, we'll miss you too. All you have to do is make your next company buy a Looker. Well, I'm heading to law school, so unfortunately I don't think that's an option. So what's next? This year, we want to really drive client self-help. So customer satisfaction is key to us, and we know that customers are most satisfied when they can help themselves, when they have confidence in what they're doing, and it keeps our efficiency quite high if customers can help themselves too. So we want to drill in and find out what's happening in our frequently asked questions and figure out if we can get that out to clients before they can come to us. Productivity within our support team, if we could make a to-do list through Looker and make a really digestible pile of content that our team leads especially need to get through because they have so many tasks to do, then that would be really super. And then the last thing, our chattiest chatters need the most help. So we want to focus in on those and figure out if we can help them in any different way, be it through training, through other resources. We want to be able to answer those questions. So that's been me. Thank you very much for listening. And see you afterwards.